is about Nell Gwynn, who rose from the gutter to be Charles II's favourite mistress. She was also one of the first actresses to be on the stage in the Restoration period, and the public loved her.
I'm playing King Charles II, probably the best king of England, if I'm honest. And yeah, it's a really fun part to play, and I'm looking forward to the run.
I'm Charles Hart. I'm the leading actor. The audiences love me, and I'm the one that discovers Nell Gwynn. I make her into an actress.
I'm playing Edward Kynaston. He is one of the long-serving members of the company. There are no female actresses in the company. There wasn't in the day. So he plays all the female parts.
I am playing Rose Gwynn. I am the sister of Nell Gwynn. She's very protective of her sister, but also has a little bit of resentment against her as the story goes on.
Well, it's about, we're in the 17th century, and prior to that we hadn't had women on stage for a very long time in England. And it was Charles II who encouraged theatres to include women on the stage as well as working backstage.
So, well, in fact, he changed the law because it was illegal prior to Charles II, and he insisted, really. So Nell Gwynn was not the first, but one of the very first, and certainly the most popular, the most famous actress. So a bit of a rags to riches story.
Absolutely,
for Nell.
From where she started to where she ended, very much so.
So London in the 17th century. After the English Civil War, Charles I is beheaded and Oliver Cromwell comes to power for 10 years. He cancels Christmas, he closes all the theatres, and he sucks all the joy out of life. And on top of that, you've got the plague, and most of London burns down in the Great Fire. So when Cromwell dies, Charles II is welcomed back onto the throne, and he brings in a whole new era of fun and frivolity. So that's the backdrop for the play.
In a nutshell, Nell Gwynn is the first ever, or one of the first ever female actresses on the stage in England, and she's also one of the very well-known mistresses of King Charles II. So it's all about her and the people that she works with, who are all real-life people, and how she gets on stage and how she meets the King and Hart, the other Charles in her life, and the love story there, and then losing people and having to choose between her love and everyone else.
Charles Hart, who is our leading man, finds Nell, sees something in her and brings her into our company, of which again I'm not very happy about, but she's very talented, singing, dancing, acting.
The play is obviously centred around Nell Gwynn, who was an actress, one of the first female actresses on stage in England, and the king sort of, got this, went to the theatre, met her, and sort of turns into a bit of a love story, and of course she becomes the most famous mistress probably in English history, and his favourite mistress, of course.
This play is quite a challenge because it's 17th century. We have quite a lot of costumes in our stock, but you can guarantee that when you get them out, they'll be the wrong size or the wrong length or whatever. So we've not had to make anything from scratch. We've not had to hire anything, but we have done a lot of altering, haven't we? Yes. Yes.
The challenge is, it's a big show. We have a large cast, obviously we have a band. It's a small band, but we still have a band. So we've had to rehearse the songs, have choreography, but at the same time it is a play, it's not a musical, it's a play with some songs in it. It still needs the attention that you would give if it's a full musical to all of those aspects. I think that for me, that's what we do.
Yes, and I think in your question you asked about putting on a costume drama, and it is a historical piece, but it's also a very modern play. So it's written in modern language, the characters behave pretty much as we do, but they're also based on historical figures. So it's honouring the people that they were and the times they lived in, whilst also having the, it's very modern, it's very funny.
Most of the characters that are in the play were real people, so we can research them, which is good. But it isn't actually them. It's not a history play in that sense. It's very much about now.
the process for this show has been just amazing. The cast are fantastic and they're all so lovely and friendly, and the crew backstage as well. Everyone is just so willing to get involved and go above and beyond what they're asked of. So it's just been such a lovely atmosphere to get involved in.
It's always about finding the character. You know, it's layers basically. You know, as the play moves on, have I got him right? Is he believable? Does he relate well to the other characters? There's a lot of us on stage, so our interaction with each other is very quick. It's very funny, so you have to deliver the lines, make sure the audience catches those funny moments, and being believable.
We've had the challenge of having to have 2 costumes for some people because they're playing a named court character who would then not really be singing and dancing in the street or anything like that. So we need to have an ensemble costume. So that's been interesting. And the challenge there really is to make them easy enough to change quickly.
Why should people come and see the play? That's such a very good question. I just think it's got everything in it. It's heartbreaking, it's funny, there's some really serious bits, there's a lot of light laughter, very bawdy.
It's very funny, great songs, lovely dancing. All of the cast are excellent, they've worked really hard. And although, as you just said, it's not complete history, you will go home having had a bit of a history lesson.
And for me, I mean, the first time I read the play, I was laughing out loud, and that's what made me want to direct it. But I still am. I laugh at every rehearsal. It's that
Me too.
The play and the cast and the way they're doing it really make me laugh. It's great. But there are some really tender, touching parts as well. So it's not just comedy; it's moving too.
You should come and watch the play because it's a lot of fun. There's a few songs in there as well, and it's a great fun way to sort of go back in time a little bit, back into the 17th century, and just but with a modern twist. And it's for all audiences, all ages.
You should come and see this play. It's so different. You're not going to see this type of play. A 1600 play brought to a modern audience. The text has been brought up to modern day.
Because it's terribly funny, terribly exciting, terribly colourful.
And if I could just mention Mike on the guitar, absolutely amazing. Honestly, the band are really special in this, and if you should come and watch just to hear them play, that's what I would say.
The writer has done a great job with this. It's fun. You've got every single thing in this play. As I say, you've got singing, you've got dancing, there's music playing, great interaction with lots of different characters.
You've got to come and see this play. It's about a woman's rise to fame and how she breaks through the glass ceiling of her time. The cast are utterly awesome. It's brilliantly directed and it's really funny. It won an Olivier Award for Best New Comedy. It ends with an epilogue that was actually written by Nell Gwynn herself, so you can hear her voice from 350 years ago. It's not a musical, it's a play with songs, and they've been brilliantly choreographed by the fabulous Catherine, who deserves a medal. So the costumes are cool, the set is great, the backstage crew are legends, and the show is wonderfully entertaining. So book yourself some tickets and come and see it.
People should come and see the play because it's so much fun. It's a bawdy comedy. There are songs, there are dances. You'll learn some things from history as well. And it's just great fun with some real poignant moments thrown in as well.
And there's a dog in there. Oh, am I allowed to say that? I don't know. I don't know. Is that spoiler alert? She's lovely. Come to watch because there's a dog. I mean, that's better reason than most.